and well. How nice to have you with us as we kick over broadcast week here on the great SiriusXM 82. You got it on this 4th day of June 2018. Nice to have you aboard as we chat to you about what's going on here on Mad Dog Unleashed. Eddie Erickson and the crew, Christopher Russo, yours truly, 888 Mad Dog 6. That's your two-way sports talk telephone number as you take you home here on a busy day. We got a lot to do today. We're going to do, obviously, a little NBA to get us going. We have NHL today with Eddie Ochek, Game 4 of a Cup final tonight. We'll do maybe a little horse racing today. This is Justify Week. We'll do a little Robert F. Kennedy today for Beckon's 50th anniversary of assassination is tomorrow. We got a lot going on as we begin a broadcast week here on your favorite little sports talk channel in America as we chat. Little Falcon today as well. I heard Steve Torrey on Saturday afternoon, and boy, he was feeling no pain and noisy. Oh, is he noisy? We'll get into that for their 33 gathering. By the way, I checked the number. 47 employees from SiriusXM were there, and 53 people from people are from around the country who watched that show. So you put it together, it's 100. So not bad. As we'll have some fun, and that has become Mike Babchek's show. I mean, Evan doesn't. You can put a mannequin in there. That's Babchek. That is Babchek through and through. They come for Babchek. They do not come for Evan. We'll get to that a little bit later on. All right, a lot to do here in the NBA. Let's start with Game 2, and this is what you were afraid of. All right. Bottom line is that Golden State, for once and for a while, really played a crisp, clean, start to finish kind of game. And when they play that kind of game with their firepower, they can. I don't care about their defense, and I know Cleveland didn't shoot the ball that great. You know, they were 9 for 27 from three. They only shot 41%. They had a lot of open shots, but when they play that well, they shoot 57%. They make 15 threes. They got 3 Hall of Famers who combined for about 80 points. Durant, Curry, and Thompson. They cannot lose. As simple as that, you're not going to beat him. Durant had the most efficient 26-point game I've seen in a long time. He did not miss. He took 14 shots and scored 26 points. He passed the ball well early on. They got off to a good start with McGee making all those dunks. Obviously, Curry has really established himself in the last 4 or 5 games. He's played really well in these 2 games. He played very well in Game 7 against the Rockets. Curry last night, the shooting percentage wasn't phenomenal, 11 of 26. But boy, his threes were 9 of 17, some of them from a miraculous angle and distance. And he does his thing, and then you throw in 20 points for Thompson in 33 minutes. When they do that, they are not going to be beat. As simple as that, they're not going to lose. And they scored, basically 30 points a quarter. They scored 122 points before they turned the gas off. They got a huge 3, even from a guy like David West. Livingston played pretty well. He made 5 for 5 from the field. They got not a lot out of Green. 5 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. Now, if you listen to the people who think they know the NBA, they're going to tell you that Green was the key to the game. I know he wasn't. He had 5 points. He wasn't the key to the game. The key to the game was the fact that Durant, Curry, and Thompson, all of them could not miss. They were phenomenal from 3. I mean, Durant from 3 was 2 for 3. Thompson from 3 was 3 for 8. And Curry for 3 was 9 out of 17. I mean, you're not going to beat them. It's as simple as that. They need, the Cavs do, they need Golden State to come down a notch or 2 and have their level be tremendous for them to have an opportunity to steal a game in this series. And that opportunity probably now, in hindsight, to have them be competitive in this final was going to be there in Game 1 on Thursday night. Now, I have not seen this video that I guess shows you the Cavalier bench after J.R. Smith screwed up. We'll get to that a little later on, where he obviously made a big mistake there at the end of that first game, and everybody had their heads down, everybody all upset, and obviously a situation where our little buddy Ty Lue didn't really it would be impossible to do that anyway. That was an impossible spot. They all saw the handwriting on the wall. I mean, that's going to be the tombstone epitaph, that whatever the word is, that's going to be that of this series. The fact that that was their opportunity to steal the game, put a little doubt in Golden State's mind, and it didn't come across that way. I had indicated on Friday that maybe this NBA final could go in either one or two directions. Maybe Golden State wasn't as good as we thought, and they would come back down to earth, and maybe they were just, not going to be able to put Cleveland away that easily. And the other aspect of, well, maybe that was such a devastating blow to Cleveland that they were not going to recover from. Right now, it looks like it's a devastating blow. LeBron last night, I don't want to say disinterested, but LeBron last night, they doubled him every time he had the ball over half court. They got the ball out of his hands as much as they possibly could. They would not allow LeBron to, get into a dominating, unstoppable mode, and they made sure last night that he was more, Magic Johnson than Michael Jordan. He did have 13 assists, so, that's, and 29 points, and, most people would take that in a heartbeat in the NBA final, but they can't win where LeBron is, somewhat mortal, and then, of course, on the defensive end, they let those other three score 80 points. They can't win. It's as simple as that. They can't win. I mean, the big three on Golden State scored 79 points, and the big one in Cleveland scored 29. So they got outscored by 50 points with the big 3 to the 1, and that's just too many. They cannot survive and do that here. So and make this a competitive series, no matter what ABC tries to do, no matter what Brini tries to tell you, and you could tell by Brini last night, his inflection of his voice kept on telling us day after moment after moment, back within 8. Back within 7, back within 10. He tried to make sure the eyeballs stayed to the set. And even when Cleveland got to 10, got to 8, got to 7, you knew they weren't going to win a game. It was one of those games where Golden State, even though it got to 5 a couple times, 82-77, things like that, they just were not going to win. I mean, 5 there felt like 20. They just were not going to be able to stop them from an offensive perspective. And stop they did not do and lose, and as a result, they lost. Simple. And, you want to sit there and tell me that Cleveland wins a game at home? I won't completely disagree with that. You want to tell me that Cleveland wins 2? They're not winning 2 at home. I don't think they're doing that. But you want to tell me that they win a game at home and, they force the inevitable to a Game 5 next Monday night in Golden State, where Golden State celebrates a championship on the 11th day of June? You want to tell me that? Go ahead. You can tell me that. I mean, you might be able to convince me of the fact that the Cavaliers have a win in them, that LeBron, will die on his sword, and he'll make sure that he wills that team, that motley crew, to a win. I might buy it. I would not be stunned. And I said to you throughout this postseason and throughout this NBA final, I've had these little barriers I want these teams to overcome to say that it was a successful season for the team, and then, of course, a successful series. I gave you that with Houston, make the Warriors sweat. They did actually a lot more than that. And I said before this series began, if I was somebody who wanted to analyze this, let me get Cleveland into a Game 4, 2-1, and the Warriors got to work hard to win a Game 4. If they do that, they have done a hell of a job in this series. Now, they haven't done that yet, and if they lose Game 3 on Wednesday night, they can't do that because anything after that means nothing. They can't do that. If they win Game 3 and we can have a ball game on Friday night in the fourth quarter when it's tight, well, then you know what? Cleveland did its job. Now, they're a long way from that right now. They played a lot better in Game 1 than I thought they would, and they should have won Game 1. So we all know about the officiating and everything else. They should have won Game 1, but that's over with now. I know, I know that's going to be, remember, Orlando lost to Houston that one year, and Orlando blew the 25-point second-half lead, and Nick Anderson missed 1 million free throws, and Houston was never beheaded again, and Orlando was never heard from again. Same thing could happen in this series. Cleveland went out there in Game 1, let one slip away, knowing their gargantuan task in front of them, that was the end of it, and they might get themselves, bulldozed the next couple games. That would not shock me. That would not shock me. They're not winning the series. We knew that they were going to win the series anyway. The question now is, do they make it a little competitive with that third game and winning that game and then getting themselves into a fourth game where it's tight? I would say right now it would be less than 50-50 that will happen. I think it's only 50-50 they win a game at home. So if it's only 50-50 to win one of two, I can't give them 50-50 in Game 3. So I think it'd be very tricky now for the Cavaliers to have a chance to get back in this series. Hey, Golden State's too good, folks. It's simple. Golden State has gotten to the point where, they can play lousy, for, 40 minutes and have 1 8-minute period, which is what in a lot of ways they did in Game 1, which is what they did in the second half of Game 7 in Houston, where they can go out there in that one spot and have that one moment, that 1 6-7 minute period where they play great and they score 20 points and they outscore you 20-4 and the game's over. I mean, that's what Golden State can do. They have so much firepower and so much talent. I mean, they got 3 Hall of Famers on the team. Forget Green. He's going to make the Hall of Fame because people are going to want to give him that. But he's not a Hall of Famer, quote unquote, the way we look at it. They are going to be, and he's impossible to root for, as is everybody else on that team. And Curry's getting to be annoying, too. Let's be fair. Very annoying. But that team is too good for Cleveland. And Cleveland here is, going to die a likely death. Simple. Now, we'll see now what this generates. I told Eddie today, if we get the NBA to 4 o'clock, we did well. I don't know, unless I make this about LeBron and his body language in the video after game 1, or about LeBron last night when he went out with 3 minutes to go and not pleased, and make this LeBron central. As far as the analyzation of the game, I don't know what you're going to do. I'm not making this about LeBron. It's not about LeBron. He doesn't have the weapons. I mean, you're not winning. He's got Kevin Love, who's pretty good, and then that's it. I know George Hill played well last night, but that's not enough. Not enough. Not enough. The other team's got 3 Hall of Famers. They got 1. That's not enough to beat this, without home court and everything else, this Golden State team that beat you last year in 5 games and up 3-0, and you had Kyrie Irving on that team. I don't know. You can make an argument that we have put the NBA to bed for 2018. You have made that argument. You might have a little life Wednesday. You might, but you can make that argument. 15 after the hour, get your calls in. Mad Dog Unleashed.